healthcare within your reach.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Ort Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Art Connor.
A wonderful and warm welcome to each and everyone. Even though outside seems to be a little breezy. Hey, not a bad way to spend a holiday weekend. Well, to Mr. Art, thank you very much, sir. I pray you are on the mend. All will be, wonderful in your land. 949-837-949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call 925-3261. It's an honor to sit here. Looking forward to the discussion after the 8 a.m. headlines news, man. We have a chance to talk about Heroes Day celebrations, but between now and then we'll do what we got to do. And as you make your drive in, or as you settle at your desk, hopefully you don't mind me sitting in. You'll help to guide and nurture, encourage. As we say, it's going to be informative, impartial, and insightful. And sometimes, we're not inciting people. Nope, that's not what we're doing. But we want to encourage and imbue in us, that opportunity. So those who are trying to call us on the 925-3261, hey, if you are and you want to get on the air, you have to use their WhatsApp. 925-3261. Calling it regularly, we are unable to answer it in order to get you on the radio. So call and share your thoughts with us. It certainly is, gearing up to be a wonderful day, promising potential for an awesome and an amazing weekend. And as we look at the historical record with some of the things that have transpired, this day in history, 60 years ago or thereabouts, where were you? What were you doing? What was happening? As Mr. Art would do frequently, he would look back at, some of the print publications, of the day. He would read openly and fondly, from the trade winds and the like, and we might just do that. A quick glance, then you appreciate that as we record our history, and hopefully not for it to be rewritten, but for it to be revisited as an attempt to appreciate that maybe where we are now, we've made significant, positive steps. But there are times when we look back, we seem to be battling the same issues, and now they're even more, glaring, and perhaps obviously we've ignored. So, for those of you who have that perspective, join us. For those of you who are still at a space and a place where, you're still, shy of exiting your teen years, or maybe you, like many of us, you're getting into your 5th and 6th and 7th decade, and you're thinking, wow, I'm just coming into my stride. Well, 949-8037, share a thought. 949-6990, be a part of the discussion. WhatsApp call 925-3261. And help us to appreciate your perspective, and sort of partnership with the Cayman Cancer Society. The Airstride Walk is this Sunday, so maybe you've registered. If not, it's not too late. Hey, 949-8037, 949-6990. And it's one of those, interesting times who sort of, how do I put it? Fella was sharing with us just late yesterday after the program. He said, he's taking a lunch a little bit later, partly because in his mind, his Friday now came early. He had a trip planned like many. This time he said, instead of flying off island, he'll still go overseas and leave Grand Cayman and spend his weekend with his family on the Brac. And he wanted to leave out late yesterday if that was possible. And he chatted in and he thought, we don't often make sufficient plans as we would if we were going to another country. And yet, sometimes we don't appreciate how easy it is to move within a country, but sometimes how much more it's becoming, a challenge to even spend a long weekend in another district, much less, island hop and go across and, you got a place to stay, you got people who want you there. And he shared that pace of life is one that we don't seem to appreciate its impact. It's not just here today and gone tomorrow. It's about being here today physically and being here today mentally, being in the moment, being present, being reminded of how important it is that we are going to be involved. So as we bring to you the birthday shoutouts as termed by Coca-Cola, we have Wes and Carlin Lopez celebrating. For many of us, birthdays are not just about cake and ice cream. It's about giving thanks. And say that again to me, Miss Susan. Say, we are very, very happy to celebrate as we wish each of those who, as time goes on, will remind you that Coca-Cola, offers you your birthday greetings. So that's left in Corley. Hey, happy birthday. The week ends, almost, and as the holiday looms, Friday hence, we'll have the last day of this first month. The countdown begins for many to when Christmas and other celebrations will unfold. But in the intervening period, much to be had. So we invite you to share. 949-8037, 949-6990. And once we take this quick short break, I'll look at some of the things from the Trade Winds magazine as queued up on the screen from January of 19. What year? All right, I'll look at it and tell you. Join us after the break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
In August of 1838, Andrew Malcolm of the Michael Charity of London opened the first school in Bordentown. The school opened with 23 students and fees of 6 pence or 10 pence per week depending on age. However, Mr. Malcolm quickly realized most families could not afford the fees, and he abolished them, which prompted higher enrollments, and within 6 months, the numbers had grown to nearly 100 students with equal parts white and non-white. Although a tremendous success, Mr. Malcolm was met with hostilities and opposition by former slave owners because of his refusal to segregate the students by race. Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. You know, it's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, you know. And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
This is For the Record.
Hey, welcome back, and it's an honor to sit in here and host for Mr. Art. Wish him a wonderful, safe, and healthy weekend, and looking forward to having him return after the Monday holiday on Wednesday. Hey, 949-837, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp call 925-3261. And as he was apt to do, as he was sending some of the quotes submitted by your friends at Rotary. Here's one from Rotary Sunset. It says, your vocation in life is where your greatest joy meets the world's greatest need. And thanks to Miss Marie for reminding us that and sending that across. He also, Mr. Hart, was prone to reading oftentimes from the trade winds, and here are a number of articles from the January 21st issue of 1965. Reminds us of then the former British Prime Minister who served during the World War II. Winston Churchill's health was getting grave, as with doctors making an unexpected visit to his bedside early in the afternoon of the 20th, and this is published on the 21st of January. Fantastic to be able to go back, even 6 decades, and see the print media reflecting through his record some of the things that happening locally. There's a picture, and where it reads, old friend revisits us. No doubt, says many commanders would recognize Lieutenant Commander Clay Shackelford, the first commander of the U.S. Naval Base, which was established here in 1942. He's pictured here with his son Patrick and a little girl who's visiting with them, Sarah Elizabeth Luxon, vacationing at the beach club. Says Mr. Shackelford came to Cayman with the U.S. forces to establish a base for refueling planes, with the help and cooperation of Commissioner Jones, Inspector R. Watler, Captain Real Borden, and the late Mr. Ada Parsons and Mr. Innes MacTaggart. He was able to complete his task successfully 2 weeks ahead of schedule. For this, he received the Legion of Merit and was later sent to tackle a similar mission in Honduras. From there, he was engaged in anti-submarine warfare and served in the Pacific, where he was wounded by shrapnel during a routine landing. After spending a year in hospital in 1947, he started practicing law. In 1959, he returned to Grand Cayman to go into the possibility of investments here, but in 1962, because it was thought that Cayman would become part of the West Indies Federation, the idea was dropped. Now that we have decided on Crown Colony status, Mr. Shackelford has returned and is desirous of clearing titles and obtaining a minimum of 1,000 acres of land for real estate development. Example, providing homes for the middle-income groups in the USA. Cayman has always been Shangri-La so far, and he is concerned and he's very anxious that his present mission will be successful. Now, this is the writings, in the trade winds on January 21st, 1965. It also has on that same page the inauguration of the 36th U.S. President, Lyndon B. Johnson. Was sworn in on the 20th of, as the 36th President of the U.S. States of America for a full 4-year term of office. The ceremony took place in the Capitol building, and here's the country's reporting of things just similar to what we probably will see, taking place now with the inauguration of President Trump, taking a second term. And this one reads, it says, extensive security measures were taken to protect the president on this momentous occasion. Although he did not personally desire it, he was driven to and from the Capitol in an armor-plated limousine and made his speech from a stand covered with bulletproof glass. And said, although he did not personally desire it, So, and then there's another article, says Jamaicans here are reassured by administrator. And this is from the Trade Winds, January 21st, 1965. So in tribute to Mr. Art sharing with us from our historical record. Said in Monday's issue of the Daily Gleaner, The front page headline highlighted a complaint by Mr. Carlbrand and barrister at law that he and other Jamaicans were being victimized by the Cayman Islands government. The article which followed indicated that the matter had been reported to Sir Alexander Bustamante, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, who had threatened reprisals against Caymanians in Jamaica if such allegations prove to be true. On the 19th of January, a public notice under the signature of His Honour the Administrator was posted in Cayman as follows. The attention of members of the public is drawn to a report which appeared in the Daily Gleamer on the 18th of January 1965 under the heading Barrister Complains to Sir Alexander about treatment of Jamaicans in former dependency. This report includes statements to the effect that a certain barrister and other Jamaicans had been asked to leave the Cayman Islands by the administrator, and the Jamaicans were being victimized under a recent immigration law and were being discriminated against in the law courts. The administrator wishes to reassure members of the public, in particular those Jamaicans residing in Cayman Islands, that these statements are totally without foundation. Well, some of you might have read a recall of that because you were around. Others of you might have heard, people like Dr. Steve or others share from the historical record. Some of you might have had it told to you by your parents, and it just shows increasing how much things transpire, and history has a way of recording and reflecting. The more things change, the more they stay the same, and perhaps some of you might be able to tell some of us some of the assemblies have taken place in the early 70s relative to those who were like allegedly Mr. Brandon and others who wanted to contest in our elections. Is that something that we see increasingly may unfold, not just here but in other jurisdictions? If so, is that something that we want to consider? Well, you tell me. 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. Once that's up and ready and rolling, we'll get there as well. You can use the Flow toll-free number 1-800-534-8255 and share your thoughts with us. As we head into the news at 8, just a quick opportunity to promote Talk Today in a couple hours time. Time's going to go fairly quickly. We are having the wonderful company of Seymour Jackson, attorney at law, join us. We might even get, if their schedules allow, one or two others to join us, including some of our former parliamentarians as well. But we'll know in 4 hours or thereabouts. So 949-8037, 949-6990. As we have an opportunity to perhaps take a call before the headlines at 8. Let's go to the phones. Welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Hi, Sterling. Good morning.
Hey, how was your drive? And hoping you're having a good day.
Drive along.
It might be for some of us, It might be for some of us.
Oh, Lord. I'm just wondering about this East Arterial Way extension and some of the controversy in terms of the high cost that they're projecting. It behooves me that it has to cost as much as they've projected that it needs to cost. They're saying US $1 billion, 898 million over 50 years. But seriously, I mean, 50 years? We don't have 50 years. We need to think. I don't know. It just seems like anything that happens with government, the prices are always astronomical. Like, I look at other private industries, even when they build the high schools and they can get their schools built for quarter what the government is building and get it done in such a timely fashion without the extended delays and things move. So why would the road construction have to be such? I know that they have to fill and so forth and create extensions into or access lanes into the drive, and they probably want to build 2 or 3 lanes, but start off with 2, one up and one down.
It's, I've been listening to different comments from different people, and there were, as you just shared, 2 things that seem to be evident. maybe there's not enough information in the public domain. Maybe what is being shared isn't presented in a way that you can look at it and say options that is intended to inform as opposed to inflame, or worse yet, confuse as opposed to allow us to comprehend. People say what they want to say to paint the picture they want to pick, right?
Yeah, because they're saying that they use the most expensive model to highlight, and I just concerned as to why you would have to choose the most expensive model to highlight. I mean, has it really cost us that kind of money in the past to build our roads?
And when we do analysis of financial costs, do we also look at the opportunity cost? So if you do this thing, it'll cost this amount of money, but if you don't do it, maybe there are other associated costs. We tend to put them into the fray when we talk about contributions, that are sort of ancillary. My friend, we have the 8 a.m. news in just a few seconds. If your schedule allows, you want to join us back later when we have an opportunity, if you want to share more.
All right, darling. Thank you, too.
All right. Have a wonderful, safe day. Enjoy the late Christmas breeze or the early one, depends. All right. We'll be back in about 15 or so, Miss Susan. To our listeners, stay tuned. Do what I'm going to do. All right. See you in a bit.
Thank you, Sterling. And studio time by Foster's is 7:59.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care. When you're on
the voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With a look at your latest news, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. In preparation for National Heroes Day, there are a few road closures to be in place starting this evening at 6 p.m. until Monday at 10 p.m. Fort Street will be closed between Seafarers Bay and Edward Street. Edward Street will be closed at the junction of Main Street and Cardinal Avenue. Edward Street will be temporarily closed at the junction of Dr. Roy's Drive. And Albert Panton Street will be closed at the junction of Cardinal Avenue. The roads will temporarily reopen from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday. Upskilling for police managers. Last week, a group of senior leaders of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, along with a delegate from the Royal Montserrat Police Service and Customs and Border Control officers, attended a strategic communication for leaders in public safety training hosted by FBI and LIDA. This was the first time the course was held in the Caribbean region. The three facilitators delivered, quote, fascinating storytelling and real-life experiences combined with the practical course content regarding how public safety officials can effectively engage with the media. The Central Caribbean Marine Institute joins the long line of organizations and public officials that have concerns about the proposed amendments in the National Conservation Act. In a written statement, CCMI has highlighted concerns, particularly the move away from the environmental impact assessment process and, quote, the reduction of consultation and oversight from respected professionals in the decision-making and governance process. CCMI believes the proposed legislation changes to the NCA could have, quote, catastrophic and destructive implications for the environment and represents, quote, a step backwards for sustainable development and data-driven decision-making in the Cayman Islands. Anyone interested in providing feedback on the amendment bill can submit their responses directly to the ministry at NC Amendments Bill 2024 at gov.ky. A special tribute for a longtime supporter of Cayman culture and heritage. Here's Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller.
The Cayman National Cultural Foundation and the family of the late Morgan DaCosta invite you to celebrate his life on Sunday from 3 p.m. at the Hartwell Theater. He passed back in September. He's described as a, quote, devoted advocate of the arts and a cherished member of the community who left an indelible mark on the Cayman Islands through his work with the Cayman National Cultural Foundation and his performances in Rundown, a local long-running comedy review. For over 20 years, Mr. DaCosta was a proactive member of the CNCF board, contributing his time to volunteering at events, front-of-house support, official functions, and cultural exchange programs, all while prioritizing the growth and preservation of the country's arts and heritage. You're encouraged to RSVP to Sunday's event, so make sure to head to the CNCF Facebook page. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Karsley Fuller.
That is your latest news. I'm Jevi Ebanks. Now to the BBC for headlines around the world.
This is the BBC News with Govinda Gill. Donald Trump has ordered the release of the remaining classified documents related to 3 of the most consequential assassinations in U.S. history. The killings of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, and the civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. The U.S. president signed an executive order that requires officials to present a plan to declassify the documents within 15 days. Here's Naomi Rochin from our U.S. partner outlet, CBS.
The goal, the president says, is to reverse the overclassification of government documents. White House officials have not yet said which or how many of them should be released, but it's unclear what's really left in there. There are some conspiracy questions about what might have happened, but generally the mainstream knowledge in this country is that those men were murdered in the ways that we know.
The Taliban authorities in Afghanistan have condemned the arrest warrant sought by the International Criminal Court's chief prosecutor for its leaders, saying it is politically motivated. The Taliban-run foreign ministry said the move was devoid of a fair legal basis and a matter of double standards. On Thursday, the ICC's chief prosecutor sought arrest warrants for the Taliban's supreme leader and their chief justice over the persecution of women and girls. Ukraine's military says it's hit an oil refinery and a pumping station overnight in the Russian city of Ryazan, southeast of Moscow. Kyiv also said it hit a microelectrics plant in the Bryansk region, something Russian state media has confirmed. Russia said it shot down more than 120 drones overnight in attacks. In Russia's latest drone attacks on Ukraine, 3 people have been killed. The medical charity Doctors Without Borders says its staff in the Democratic Republic of Congo were forced to take shelter in a safe room for hours after M23 rebels seized the eastern town of Minova in South Kivu province earlier this week. The group's country's representative, Emmanuel Lampert, described frantic scenes as Minova's main hospital came under threat.
The whole situation was very disorganized, very chaotic. Many of the patients fled the hospital. And due to that, not being able to guarantee safety of our teams, we saw the necessity also to retrieve part of our medical colleagues in the hospital.
A court in Pakistan has ordered a popular social media personality to publish a video every month on animal rights as a punishment for unlawfully keeping a lion cub. Roger Butt, who has more than 5 million subscribers on YouTube, said he got the cub as a wedding gift last month. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat, unlike the no-gets. At KFC, we hand-bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Time to rack up some extra Sir Turtle Rewards miles with the Cayman Airways Tampa airfare sale now on. Tampa sale fares available for travel now through April 15th. But hurry, this sale won't last long. You've got to book by January 27th. Call 949-2311, contact a local travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of savings. In stock at Funky Tanks, both locations, stoves, fridges and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, sheets and comforters, all sizes, window curtains, cell phones and telephone accessories, musical instruments, karaoke and Bluetooth speakers, portable radios and portable fans are now available. Get yours for your hurricane kit. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 79 degrees. Relative humidity is 78%. The barometric pressure 30.07 inches and rising. The wind north at 10 knots. Overnight low was 75. Synopses indicate a frontal boundary located east of the Cayman Islands will become stationary this evening, supporting cloudy spells and isolated showers. An associated high-pressure system will continue to build across the southern United States, supporting fresh to locally strong winds and moderate seas through this afternoon. A further increase is likely tonight, with a small craft advisory taking effect this evening. Radar images show a line of showers northeast of Grand Cayman moving towards the southwest. Forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures today will be in the low 80s. Your winds will be north to northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet, mainly along the northern shores. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be northeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, and seas will become moderate to rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet tonight, mainly along the northern shores as well. Small craft should exercise caution over the open seas. We're presently at a high tide, and the next low tide will be this afternoon at 1:35, and a high tide again this evening at 6:01. Sunset 12 minutes after 6, sunrise tomorrow morning at 2 minutes after 7, and the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Sunday afternoon.
The Ministry of Planning, Agriculture, Housing, Infrastructure, Transport and Development is pleased to provide the APATH Grant Program to help you thrive. Whether you're interested in pursuing higher education or a career in planning, infrastructure, agriculture, housing, or transport, APATH is designed just for you. Ready to take the leap? Apply today. For more information, please contact APATH Secretariat at 936-6231 or mpahi@gov.ky. APATH, your path to success in the Cayman Islands.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Coming from the east, traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway is steady, and steady traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving on moderately. Edward Street, moderate flow of traffic. Traffic flowing at a good pace on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Light to moderate traffic flow from the West Bay four-way stop as well as on Owen Roberts Drive. On the West Bay Road, traffic is moderate in both directions, especially from the Ritz. Coming off of the SLA Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic, some sections a little heavier. Continuing on to North Sound Road, steady traffic, moderate flow of traffic heading towards the Industrial Park area. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, continuing on to Huldah Avenue. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The 2025 National Heroes Day Awards takes place on Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m. in the historic Heroes Square. Celebrate the icons of business and entrepreneurship within the Cayman Islands and honor our past nation builders. Wear your ceremonial best and come out to Heroes Square on Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m.
With Ort Connor.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks always to Miss Susan and the incredible team here at Radio Cayman. And to Mr. Ort, thank you, sir, for the opportunity to sit here. And looking forward to having you join us again in short order. 8949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call in a bit, 925-3261, or use the floor toll-free number. 1-800-534-TALK. Was looking at, some of the things and trying to follow Mr. Ort's lead as he able to do his, throughout hosting for the record. As we get ready to take this call, I wanted to again revisit the January 21st edition of the Trade Winds magazine from 1965. So it's a couple of days ago, isn't it? And in one of the letters to the editor, written and signed by Mr. Dorn Miller. Don't remember who he is, maybe we'll remind you in a bit, but he writes this, and I thought it was interesting to read. Mr. Dorn says, "Sir, it was with great pleasure I received and read the first issue of Trade Winds. My sincere congratulations. The introduction of a local communications media to the Cayman Islands is indeed a momentous occasion. Speaking as a Caymanian who is particularly proud of the forward strides taken by the people of Cayman in recent times, and as one who continues to be concerned with the welfare of the island and its peoples, I am motivated to make the following comments. The major contribution of any newspaper is achieved through the guidance and enlightenment of its editorial pages. I hope you will permit me to elaborate on an editorial under the headline of the future, which I found to be particularly arresting. I ask indeed why a change in the constitution of the Cayman Islands. Does not the constitution as it stands serve the people? In what area is it not workable? These are soul-searching questions each citizen must ask himself. questions which cannot be discarded with abandon. A constitution is designed primarily to protect the rights of the individual. It is a guarantee of basic rights, and changes should not be brought about by the whims of personalities who are indulging in political expediency. Examination and assessment of your very fine editorial suggests to me that the motives in this case are quite conceivably thinly disguised ulterior ones. Observations during recent visits to Cayman convinced me that this convinced me, yes, Miss Start, I see where you go with this, that the only thing wrong under the present constitution is the interpretation and subsequent application. Perhaps the failings are caused by the fact that some of the representatives of the people, although literate, lack the higher educational requirements and political experience which are prerequisite if they are to make the fullest use of the constitutional and political structure as it stands. This may well be considered impertinence, but what is needed is more careful selection by the people of those with political pretensions who would sacrifice themselves in the political arena. There must be more stress on the importance of the educational abilities of the would-be candidates. To be educated is to be enlightened. To be enlightened is to be acutely aware of the humanities and sciences. Philosophy, whether convenient or ideal, must be relegated to the secondary position until the educational ceiling is removed in the islands and in the fine minds of the many young people are permitted to soar aloft and as a consequence become qualified for the serious business of leadership. Any suggestion of self-determination should be positively rejected. We must not forget that with the self-determination comes responsibility to the people, for the people. What resources are to be called upon? Where are the industries and the defense? Please keep in mind that islands are next door neighbors to a country which is notorious for recklessly and irresponsibly. Also remember, Cuba remains chaotic after generations of self-rule and political experience. Yours very truly, Doran Miller, Toronto. Sige, Miss Sue? Now that was written by Mr. Doran Miller in the Trade Winds magazine, January 21st, 1965. Now today is what day? 24th? And what year? 2025? Well, you do the math and tell me how long ago that was. And if you read that, could that be something that was written 3 days ago as opposed to 60 years and 3 days? Right, Miss Susan? That sounds, and not just because Mr. Dorian being a strong, highly educated, intellectual whose pursuits and perhaps some of us would know his accomplishments. He leaves Cayman, he didn't walk from Northside to Toronto, but I certainly know that the journey, one that took him through his education and his work experience to very, very lofty heights, as he puts it, and then he returns to Cayman likewise. His championing of education and asking us to look at the political acumen. Our educational systems, perhaps in his mind, are not being up to the standards that a populace should expect. Anything different then than now? The questions that are asked. He asked, well, is it a thinly disguised sort of veil when we're looking at constitutional changes for ulterior motives as opposed to serving the interests of a nation? Questions then as questions now. Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Morning, Mr. Sterling. How are you?
Well, Mr. G, how is everything with you, sir?
Well, I didn't know you used to wake up this early to come up with the Republic.
If anything, if it was an election year, I would make some comment to give you something to share, but I'll leave that for me. It's not a question about waking up,
I know that why I call it the election year. And so many of them is now planning to run. Everybody got good promises. And I remember years ago, when I was working with a company, I got hurt and I got comfort of fool. That's what happened. So what happened now, everybody, they giving us all promises And when they get in, they lost your phone number. And if they don't win, then you don't hear anything from them. But I'm hoping that the people that is running now will study and see what the people or the island needs. And a lot of people that is running should put on their agenda insurance for Caymanians. They cannot afford it. That's one. Because every day I hear a Caymanian saying, I can't go to the doctor because I don't have any insurance. That is very important. And we have a health insurance for the Caymanians, which was designed by Mr. McLean for all Caymanians to be covered with insurance. And he tells me that every day. And a lot of Caymanians is not covered. Why? I wonder why. Can we find out that? So I hope these people that is planning to run for this election talk to their people in their constituency and find out if they got insurance. Because other people are coming here and getting that insurance that the Caymanian people supposed to get. That is my concern this morning.
As I listen to you and recognizing that perhaps for many of us, healthcare, health insurance, access to healthcare, and education are public goods for any who would say that, they need to be something that, whether it's trying to achieve economies of scale, whether it's just the pooling of resources otherwise, and funded and supported by government in some sort of national level, would be akin to, to a socialist policy. What's your take? Is that something that we need to look at and take off the labels, or is it something that we have ignored for too long? And as you shared, we feel in many not only to have access to healthcare, but just denied in many ways, even when they do have some level of quote unquote health insurance.
Yeah. It denied and they just overlook, and I don't understand why.
So how would we achieve it?
We need to come first. The Caymanian people need to come first.
Right. How would you achieve that? Having health insurance, health coverage, health care. You're sick, you get the treatment you need. Who pays for it, and how is it paid for, or how it is? How would you achieve it?
Well, simple in my terms is that the people that can afford it, how they do in the United States with the Social Security, when one person dies, that the donation that they were supposed to receive goes to help another person. That's what they do, and it's a lot of people that can afford other health insurance, but they're not helping us here as the local people. I'm talking about the local. When I mean local, I don't mean the paper ones, the paper Caymanian people. I mean the people that is born here on the island.
How do you
many people, although they say that from 60 up or 65 up is covered, and from 18 down. But what happened to those people that is in between the bracket of 18 to 65, but they're not working, so they cannot afford to pay the insurance? What happened then?
But
they having a referendum now, I understand, about the lottery. In the United States, in Florida, they got this big lottery going on. That money, you can take that and do infrastructure by pay for building of the roads and building and stuff, and they could use that money as well to help to pay for health insurance for people. So things like that,
I would, as I listen to you, I'm asking a number of questions if you are inclined. You reference for those who can afford, but how do you decide, how is it determined that someone can afford healthcare?
Well, what do you mean cannot afford or can afford?
Can. You said for those who can afford, let them pay, basically your inference. But how do we determine who can afford to pay for it?
Well, Mr. Sterling, that easy. We know we know the people on the island. The government knows who is who on the island and who can afford and who can't. So I mean that's easy thing to know. That's easy to know. But my concern is that for this election, the people need to ask the question: how many of the Caymanian people have health insurance? And you would be surprised. Many can't.
Yeah. Many can't. Mr. George, right? Yeah, Mr. George, I'm with you that we need to look at, and I've always said, health and education, those are your pillars, and those are things. Now, I'm inclined, if you are, as I would invite others to do likewise, let them be topics that we should have discussed, especially during the politics. But again, you say the government knows, who's on the island. Why? It doesn't seem so, And that's not to slight anybody, but we got, work, going to job sites and finding people who are not only working outside their work permit, not only whose permits have expired, but people who allegedly are here illegally. Other means. So, sticking to the substantive point with the health insurance, I think you are absolutely correct. We should be looking at making sure people have adequate health insurance coverage or health care. But help us to achieve it, sir. Give us some solutions, because I think what you're saying, maybe people need a little bit more help to understand. All right. Got a pause, Ms. Susan? You there, sir? Mr. George? No? Okay. All right. A break to take? Let's pick up that after. Let's advise the would-be politicians, because maybe they have the idea that we need to do something, but not quite sure. Maybe your suggestion might be that thing that they're being told that adds value, so that there is a better solution. I'm going to pause and take a break. When we come back, let's put that on the table. Stay tuned.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the Salad Bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. It's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
This is For the Record.
Hey, welcome back, and I'm very honored to sit in for Mr. Orrit. For those who want to share, hey, the WhatsApp is there, 925-3261, or you can call us directly, 949-8037, 949-6990. Let's try the WhatsApp call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Dwayne.
Good morning,
Mr.
sir.
Sterling.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you?
I am. Let me put it this way. I'm very, very thankful for God's mercy and grace. Not just only the love, provision, and protection, but the fact that He's blessed me with a health, a presence of mind, and good people around me who keep me grounded, motivated, nurtured, supported. Hey, I live in one of the best places in the world, in my mind, probably the best. So, how are you?
I totally agree with you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My good old friend there, Mr. Shalette.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's listening to me. This is Stanley Hill, and I hope the whole island listening to me.
Yes, sir.
We need not health insurance in this country. We need health care. And I'm wondering why the Minister for Health didn't implement that during her reign. I wonder why. Now, he was there struggling, trying to explain to you what we need, or how to go about getting health care in this country. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell the whole island why. The country. Take away that money that we were forced by law, legislated, to pay the private insurance companies in this country for whoever can afford it for our health care. Take that money, put it in the HSA, and everybody can go to that hospital. They're a great hospital. I use them. I use the one over here in the Brock, and I use the one in Grand Cayman. There's nothing wrong with our health center, health care, whatever, or hospital. Now, if you want to go above that, you go and buy yourself some other policies for your health. But the Cayman people needs that outlet. They need that opportunity. Take the percentage, take that tax, and don't tell me it's a fee. It's a tax deducted from your salary to pay for health insurance in the Cayman Islands. Take that money away from them and give it to the HSA, and everybody go there for the health care. The rich, the poor, the children. And let me say something. Didn't Mr. Saunders brought a motion to the House just a few weeks ago to take 2% taxes off of some particular rich people property to pay for the indigents and the old people and the young school children underage for their health care, and it was squashed. It didn't take them long to give it to the private insurance companies, did they?
Yeah.
What's going on?
But
I don't want to tell you today what's going on in this country about the corporation that's coming in here, but I will hint that they were promised to come in here and put their hands in the poor people's pockets. They were promised to come here, bring the business, come live with us and grow our population, and you can get rich. Look at our minimum wage, for crying out loud, a country like the Cayman Islands. And we still paying people $6 an hour. That is ridiculous. And then when the people want to go raise it, all you can hear, well, the consumer's going to pay for it. The price is going to go up in the store. Come on, the prices are going up in the store every day. You know what sweet potatoes cost right now? Almost $6 a pound. And there's no increase in the minimum wage. So stop lying to the people. Stop lying to the people. That's all I'm asking. Thank you for letting me vent that little bit of frustration. And Mr. Shalette, open your eyes and listen carefully to what's going on in the country. And stop trying to not speak the truth. Or I wouldn't say that. I'll take that back from you, because you're a good man. But you need to be learned, informed, and look around you and see what's happening here. And that's the government, and I'm going to say this overall from way back 40 years ago. It was never about Caymanians. It was about creating a new people, some new people to come here that they think that had money and could help them raise revenue for the country. We're up to over 100,000 people here right now. I don't care what anybody say, census or no census. You only have to look around, use your common sense and see the traffic on our road, the people in our supermarkets. We have over 100,000 people here.
If you have time, Mr. Hill, and listening to you, I mean, you raise things. I was looking back at the, January 21st, 1965 edition of the Trade Winds, and read two articles substantively, sort of. They could have been read and written yesterday or 2 days ago, right? Instead of 60 years. To the population perspective, as you just shared, is it that, how do I put this? Because I want it to mean more than just, causing people to get up and riled up. But there are many who are saying that the people that are coming here and how we live in and working, we're dividing our society. It's not necessarily one where we're coming together, whether the educational level or whether it's their disposition, What's your take on how our population, whether the number, but also the composition?
Dwayne, I don't really have much problem with the population. It's just that it was done too quick, rapid, fast, or whatever. We didn't take our time. People were paid to do this, to get the population to this magnitude or height, whatever, massive. And they were paid for it because the corporations that came in here needed a big population to make profits off of their businesses. And that's what happened to us. I mean, I remember in the 80s, 80s was one of the best era that we ever lived in here in these islands. From 1980 on, I would say like late 70s up to 95, when all of this stupidness started. All these laws start to come in that were not good for the Cayman Island people. 1996 was when all this started, the government. And you can't blame the people. The government's the one that makes all the laws here in that assembly downtown. It didn't fall out the sky. It didn't come from England. It were made here by our own because they had an agenda, what they wanted for the corporations to come in here.
Yes, sir. Well, you've always managed to remind us. You're always, willing to share. Always appreciate, always appreciate you, sir. Anything else you want to leave us with today?
People listen because, and I write things on Facebook. Nobody want to rebut me. Nobody want to rebut me. Nobody want to pick me up on what I say. I wonder why. I'm waiting for people to rebut me so I can have a dialogue with them. But they won't. Anyway, I will say have a good weekend and be good.
Well, what I say, if you can't be good, be often. Thank you very much, Mr. Stanley. We're going to pause quickly, take a break. The Honorable Dwayne Seymour joins us. We're going to be talking about the 2025 National Heroes Day celebration. So join us right after.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. It's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic, no sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks very much for joining us. And as we had an opportunity to share about the upcoming National Hero Day celebration, Honorable Cabinet Minister, Mr. Dwayne John Seymour. Man, you're looking muscular. Welcome, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning to the people of the Cayman Islands. Good morning, Dwayne. Thank you for having me this morning to talk about a very important subject.
Celebrate our people, the Heroes Day
Yes.
celebrations, we honor our residents. And I think this year, very timely. I'll leave it to you this year. I'll certainly celebrate along with you, man. So, Heroes Day.
Yeah, yes, and definitely most important to celebrate our people. I mean, it's more important than tearing them down as some other media houses would rather do, and that's why I'm here on Radio Cayman. And this coming Monday, which is a public holiday, 27th of January, as customary, our presentations will be in the morning. We honor persons within the community who have been demonstrated in excellence in a particular subject area and a theme. However, last year, for the first time, we introduced an additional evening celebration where we brought the community together for food, music, dancing, and Caymanian fellowship. Based on the success last year, Dwayne, we are presenting 2 events once again. And the first is the awards presentation under the theme Celebrating the Icons of Business and Entrepreneurship. At our last review, there were over 200 honorees and identified as either early pioneers, or innovators or impact in the business sector. I want to pause to express the National Heroes Day honors as an inclusive and community-driven process. We call for nominations each year and utilize a committee to refine the nominations to see if they're met the published criteria, etc. I don't want anyone to feel slighted if they have not been recognized, but instead encourage them to engage, Dwayne, in the process of nominations, because every year persons must feel empowered to nominate worthy persons. Not everyone knows everything about everyone, and even if people are nominating themselves, people might know about you.
Yeah.
So I sometimes when it says, why didn't, every year you hear it, why didn't they nominate so and so, or why didn't they nominate this one was and that one was in business, and everyone should have known that, but everyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
So it's very important for persons to listen out and answer the call when you see these publications go out in terms of nominations.
Yeah.
Get that form, fill it out, You know, if you need someone to help you fill it out, you call them, etc. But definitely, I'm excited about, you know, just seeing the parade with the young children and you know, all the uniform branch and everything else. It's a joy to see, you know, them just marching in and taking their place. I mean, I did it at once for Boys Brigade, so obviously I have I have a passion for marching and so forth. But definitely, we want every Caymanian to come out. We want Heroes Day to be a special day for Caymanians. There's so many negativity that's going on in the public, and it's political season coming up. We're just 2 months away from that. You know, just come out and you know, in the morning, and then pause, and then come back in the evening with your Caymanian shirts on. Come play a little dominoes. Come play a little ludi. You know, come listen to some good Caymanian music. We're going to even have a gospel band starting it off, so we're going to have something for everyone on Cardinal Avenue. That starts about after 4. There's going to be food on sale from some of the famous local community chefs. You know, and I want to talk to you about some of the other plans in a bit. Take a break. In terms of what I really want to see Heroes Day go towards, because about 4 members of Parliament witnessed something earlier last year, and we think that we need to take it up another level. Although I came in as a culture minister and then started the evening event, because I thought that we just go there in the morning, we stay 3-4 hours, and then that's it. And I thought that our people deserved more than that. We needed a little time to let our hair down and you know, enjoy being Caymanian, you know.
You know, the setting is nice. I mean, the waterfront is just right there.
Fireworks and everything else. Bring your children out, the whole family.
A little bit, you know, maybe a wider audience, perhaps not as formal. You get to mingle. That evening celebration, the weather always seems, you know, prayerful to continue to be just a little gentle breeze, you know, over the bay. People, you know, milling about and fellowship, and so a nice addition to the day's celebration.
Yes.
Shows your innovation, creativity when it comes to the sort of the entertainment. And I mean, you've been a guru for a while, you know.
Well, you know, it's all God's work, and you know, thank God for wisdom. I pray for it every morning, and you know, despite what a lot of people say, I'm very unassuming, and you know, everybody handle things a different way, you know, and I love my people. People say the way I handled, you know, COVID during the pandemic. You know, no one was lost under my leadership as health minister. So definitely people know where I stand in terms of protecting my people and trying to elevate my people as much as possible. See the things that we did even during the pandemic, and trying to support the different communities, and whether that was financial or otherwise. So I always ask for the culture ministry. For some reason that's a passion of mine, and you know, I try to help in the community wherever I can. You know, even if that means you know, I think I'm probably the only politician, if I can call myself that, who has actually went out, spent my own funds to have stress-free concerts for the community, whether that's at Pedro Castle or Bodden Town, Cowood Beach, or otherwise. Bringing in artists so that my people can let their hair down a bit. It's a lot of stress going on, you know, the economy, cost of living, and everything else. There's a lot that we need to get a grip on. You know, we got the banks, you know, the stress of that, you know. You get your money, and you can't even take it out. So there's a lot of people are going through, and we really need to sit down and listen to them. There's so much going on, though, Dwayne, in this country, especially with the 4 quitters that left. There's additional pressure on the 4 ministers of the left, double pressure. So even it's election season, you know, they're so busy at the administration trying to ensure that, you know, that all of the needs of the civil servants are met. With the responsibilities of ministers, that, you know, we're able sometimes to get to our community. Thank God for, you know, the things I've done over the years that people know. You know, I'm not afraid of interacting with my community or celebrating my community in every momentous way. So definitely want to thank Bontown East for selecting me and electing me to this post, so I could be the one that God chose to help celebrate our people in a most special way. And you know, they sometimes call me a spendthrift when it comes towards culture, but it's our people that are getting the funding, and anything that I can do, I'm not ashamed of spending on my people.
I mean, celebrating you know, your country and its people's accomplishments, recognizing the opportunity to fellowship, to congregate, to,
yes,
you know, and I think that day itself, you know, as it evolves and unfolds, it's still a relatively new celebration, so to speak.
Yes,
you know, but we've seen tremendous growth and take up. So I'm looking forward to your vision as you shared, and maybe some of the things that could be added to it, the way it's presented. Honorable Minister, that's the leadership vision, and maybe people will see passion and hopefully, you know, join their hands and hearts as you share. Talk to us about the celebration and anything else you want to share. I mean, how would you, I want to say, improve it? How would you add to it? What would be some of the maybe changes, adjustments, contributions? What else do you want to see?
Well, I mean, first of all, when we're talking about a national celebration, talking about trying to involve as much people as possible. Sometimes when, you know, persons are being awarded, they tell you can only get 4 tickets, and a person with a household of 7 or otherwise, or family members of 20 or whatever. So I thought that we need space. We have a niche little spot downtown, a cozy little spot in Hero Square down there, and I thought we had outgrown it. We still need to go there and celebrate, because that's where the bus and the national heroes are, in that square. But I thought that we needed to also find a space to celebrate outside of Hero Square, where more Caymanians, if we're talking about a national event, where more Caymanians could actually come and appreciate and participate. See the way that you're actually supposed to treat your fellow man, your neighbor, your Caymanian. And I think we need to do as much of that as possible, because there's a lot of negativity out there. We got AI, and we got other platforms that are just, you know, they say that good news doesn't sell, and we really need to try to help people understand that the sensationalizing that they continuously do on a daily basis. Tied my tongue there, but
you and everybody else, man. But we know what you're saying, bro.
Yeah.
But you already that sensationalistic approach that we have towards, you know, media and the news reporting, right? If it bleeds, it leads, it says.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we ought to be cautious. The whole world is looking at us. Look at what Seymour's supposed to be doing, something with the Caribbean currency,
digital currency,
digital currency. I mean, we were chosen. You know, we ought to applaud these stuff, and the whole world is looking at. We don't understand. You know, what we need to appreciate is that everybody that comes here, 99% of the people that come here don't want to leave. You know, So we need to understand that people are viewing us a certain way.
Yeah.
And when we start to get on the soapbox and start to tear each other down, then people say, that's a way for us to get in. Yeah. Because then they join the chorus. And they are viewers. So they make up the 10,000 viewers that people brag about or otherwise. And you don't even know who your viewership is. It's people from overseas or otherwise finding a way to infiltrate the Caymanian system so we can be so distracted. We could be so distracted that they slip right in. Yeah. And then we're confused. Like, why so much people here? Because we're tearing our own Caymanians down. They can't even concentrate on the necessary things that we need to do to build up our country and to ensure that we are paramount, in our own country, and that we're building Cayman for Caymanians to benefit. Growth must take place, development will take place. But in anything that we do, Caymanians must benefit. We need to find a niche way. And if there's anything I can knock politicians for, is that we've been so distracted that we haven't really put the effort into trying to find niche ways to ensure that Caymanians benefit, that we're not living in poverty in our own country. And one of those ways is by creating entrepreneurial opportunities for people, since entrepreneurship is one of the ways, or one of the fastest ways, to the middle class. So we need to sit down and ensure that every year that we create another Caymanian millionaire, or create another Caymanian, or create Caymanian wealth. I mean, this is only my idea. Who am I?
Honorable Minister, we got to pause, Ms. Susan. It's at 9 o'clock. And then I know you've been gracious with the time, so we spend as much of it as you when you come back, share with you as you wish. For those who are listening, you might hear something new. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride. Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. The Ministry of Education will be closed for a staff meeting from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. today. Regular operations will resume after the meeting. The Ministry of Education apologizes for any inconvenience caused by the closure. In regional news in Jamaica, tight security follows the killing of Othniel Thickman Lobman, the leader of the One Order gang, during an anti-gang operation. Police report that supporters attempted to disrupt Spanish Town, but forces have the situation under control and advise residents to remain calm. The Jamaica Bar Association announced court sessions have been disrupted by gunfire, advised avoiding the area. St. Lucia Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre announced the creation of the Sovereign Wealth Fund to ensure long-term development and sustainability. Pierre highlighted the country's strong performance last year despite challenges such as climate change, inflation, and the cost of living. The budget presentation and expenditure estimates are scheduled for March, followed by the policy statement in April. The Sovereign Wealth Fund aims to save resources for future generations, demonstrating the government's commitment to building a legacy of savings and wealth creation. That's your latest headlines. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the Salad Bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks to Mr. Art Connor for allowing me to sit here. And as we look forward to him joining us, God's willing, following the Monday celebrations back on Wednesday. So, Honorable Cabinet Minister, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
We're going to talk as you shared, as you wish. But as we reminded people, Monday, it's not just a public holiday, it's the National Heroes Day celebrations. Thanks again for that opportunity. But as you were telling us earlier, please continue, and then we can delve in, as you said, to other areas as you choose, sir.
Yes, I am proud to be here representing the Cayman Islands, and obviously we don't get as much people out to Heroes Day as we would like, and we're trying to find ways to not only have the ceremony in the morning, but to also have a celebration in the evening where people can go home, change their clothes, take off all those business attire, and come back in your Cayman shirts or otherwise, and just let your hair down and enjoy being around Caymanians, or people who love being around Caymanians, even if they're visiting or if they're just residents here. And we need to coexist here in the Cayman Islands. But I think that no one should be made more paramount than us Caymanians. We are the reasons why they're coming here. Because they heard Caymanians are nice people, and of course we're too passive, and that's going to change, and it would be a shame for us to have to become so aggressive to make people understand that this is my place, this is not your place. That's not what the spirit of Cayman is about. We have been inviting tourists here for over 100 years. And we've always been the kindest persons. And, I think some of the things that happened that has deteriorated our society is, when me and you went to school, we went to school with foreigners, and everybody else were at high school and middle school, and everybody was there with us. And we all know people who were not from here but made up. There's some of our good friends still. And I think this separation now, where you have that, the haves send their children to certain private schools, and then Caymanians send their children to government schools, and it's a separation, and it's something that we need to monitor very carefully. We could be creating a real situation that could be negative for us here.
Dividing our society. Yeah. Is it, though, as you shared on the minister, the idea that it's not about welcoming the visitors, the tourists, as you reference. What about the people who come in, can you call it investors, they come and they build and they extract and exploit the people who come to work. How do we make sure that there's not just acclimation and integration and assimilation, but we're coming together as we work, as yet going to our schools collectively, but also whatever projects and developments, that are construction is done, people get a healthy return, but it isn't seen as exploitation and extraction.
Yeah.
I mean, the U.S. could be accused of doing the same with Canada and other, developing nations. But as we live and breathe and work in Cayman, maybe we've seen it as much, 5 decades ago as perhaps, 5 minutes ago. People looking, government giving concessions and facilitating construction. People complaining they're not able to find meaningful employment in hospitality and financial services, even presumably in government. What's happening? How do we address that? I mean, you said, you're looking after the people,
Yeah.
How do we make sure?
We got a lot of situations that that are not forefront. And one of them are, I'm glad that you touched on that in terms of in the construction industry, where Caymanians are working for little and no return. They just give them contracts and they can barely make a living when after the contract is done. That is one of the things that we need to monitor. And obviously we got a free market, and that comes with its trouble in itself. Obviously people like the free market. They say it works best for economies, but I think we need to do more to protect our Caymanians. We need to have certain percentage thresholds in terms of contracts. Construction contracts. That's one of the areas, and other contracts also. I think, if I may dare to say, government is one of the biggest offenders of creating poverty in Cayman. And some will say, what in the world is Dwayne Seymour saying? I've been monitoring it for a while. Government goes out and puts out these contracts, or these bids, RFP, and it's the lowest bidder. The lowest bidder wins, right? Now, what are you going to do if you're the lowest bidder and the government, you bid $9 per man hour? What are you going to pay your employee? But that is the contract that government wants to sign. So we need to get away from these lowest bids opportunities, because we're creating poverty. Because what we're doing then is the Caymanian business owner can't afford to hire a Caymanian. So then the first place they look at is to import foreign labor. All right? So in essence, what I just said, and us and the government really needs to review its policy in terms of awarding contracts to the lowest bidder. I think there's a lot of problems out there in the private sector, but I think the government needs to be first.
And just on the surface, that seems to make sense, right, what you're sharing. But then there's a perception, not just today, but seems to be from time immemorial, that a government project always seems to cost more, not just the cost overruns, but the actual initial cost, and then the cost overruns, and then the time delays. Private sector, a caller earlier, she's called and said, private sector builds something at a fraction of the cost. So there's that perception. How do we address that?
People, I mean, if there's no penalties, and I'll just use that word.
Yeah, contractual penalties.
If there's no penalties for these overruns, we can always get them. So I think that's your answer there.
Yeah.
Someone needs to be penalized. People need to be held accountable.
Before we take the call on, Minister, what about the contention some have, not just in this jurisdiction and others, but say in the Cayman context, that a government project, not only as you have rightly said, should seek value for money. So not the lowest bidder, the best quality work at the best price.
Yes.
But sometimes some would say that those contracts should only be awarded to Caymanian companies, not consortiums, not, is that something that is a policy or practice, just for clarity, or is that something that isn't, should be?
Well, it should be. I can't say for sure. Obviously, certain things they don't allow us to get into as politicians. We have to stay on the outside.
Right.
We don't award contracts, etc.
Right.
Although people think we do, they blame us. We get the blame, but someone else does the job. But I think we definitely need to move towards that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Speaking to Honorable Dwayne Seymour, Minister of much responsibility, but in this case, culture and other things. We'll talk about some other years if you wish, but we have a caller, sir.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the phone. Say welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Good morning, Sterling.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Oh, man. I'm very thankful. Very thankful.
And to Mr. Seymour.
Hi, morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I wish I could say good.
Yeah.
Because the level of respect that we're getting from you politicians are a zero. And that's why I'm calling the talk show this morning, right? Because it needs to change, Mr. Seymour. I hear you named out a number of issues that you see that this country is having. And I want to know what are you all doing about the problems that we are having in this country in Caymanian, as Caymanians? And I can just make my point and then I'll hang up and listen to your answers. And one other thing, who are we building more roads for in this country? I need you to answer that also when I hang up. I need to know who we are building more roads for. Because look at the number of Caymanians there is in this country. And then that should tell you if we need more roads or not. And another thing, don't bother for any of you politicians making up any manifesto this time. When you all go out to start campaigning, you take a writing pad with you. And the people now is going to make up the manifesto, because you're going to take notes of what we want. We just want you up there. We'll support you. You can take notes of what we as the Caymanian people want from now on. It's no good you coming out with the majority of newcomers coming out with manifesto and telling us what they're going to do for us. Mr. Seymour, them days in this country is gone. So you remember, go with your writing pad and leave your manifesto. That goes to every one of the politicians. Leave your plans about manifesto at home, because we don't want to hear what you all have to say that you're going to do for us in this country anymore, because all it has been was failures, and we are sick of the failures. So I'll hang up now and I'll listen for your answers. So them three things is my main topic. And I'll just throw one other thing in there, and I need you to let me know who, if this dock goes through, who is going to pay for it. And 7 Mile Beach needs to be addressed first. Thank you very much, and good morning, gentlemen, again. I'll listen in.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable Minister, I believe we have a scheduled break. Should we take that first and then you come back? Would that be fine? All right, let's do that. I'm looking forward to what your response would be too. So you want to hear it? Join us right after.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Time to rack up some extra Sir Turtle Rewards miles with the Cayman Airways Tampa airfare sale now on. Tampa sale fares are available for travel now through April 15th. But hurry, this sale won't last long. Book by January 27th. You can call 949-2311, contact a local travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
I work hard each day. I'm a mother, sister, daughter, wife, cook, and everything in between. I know that no matter what, I have to be the woman I need to be. And that's why I choose Curves for that time of the month. When the pressure is on, I know I can rely on Curves sanitary napkins to keep me dry and comfortable all day and night. Affordable and available in cotton or silk. With Curves, I can be the woman I need to be all the time.
Strong, resilient, beautiful. Be the woman. Curves.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of savings. In stock at Funky Tanks, both locations, stoves, fridges and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, sheets and comforters, all sizes, window curtains, cell phones and telephone accessories, musical instruments, karaoke and Bluetooth speakers, portable radios and portable fans are now available. Get yours for your hurricane kit. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And before we take the other callers, with great respect to the Honorable Cabinet Minister, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, the caller prior shared certain things, and I know you were willing to answer them, so thank you for letting us take the break. But as you were going to share, sir.
Yes, fully loaded actually, and I'm actually answering for the whole government. And personally, what I'll say is, what we need to look at is the system, political system that we have now, that has caused a lot of problems in us trying to fix the problems for people or to attend to the things that are necessary. The single member constituency situation, I actually voted against this, when they had the referendum, because I saw what was going to happen. If 4 or 5 people ran, you only needed 100 votes to get in, and I came from a culture where I had to go from Spots Newlands to Breakers. The whole district of Bordentown, I had to politic, and so I I saw that and I voted against it. But what has happened this term now has really caused me some concern that I wish to never run as an independent again, and that's something that we can talk about later. But what I saw in terms of the dysfunctionality, the selfishness, everybody wanting to be leader, the constant rifts that I saw, especially when I joined the PAC government. It was a disaster when I joined. I'm not ashamed to say that. It was bad leadership. Not to say that, and I respect every Caymanian. But sometimes a certain group doesn't gel with the agendas that you're trying to get out there, so that makes it a bad fit, and definitely a bad fit. We had some situations where, just as I said when I did my campaign against single-member constituency, that all 19 constituencies was going to want a school hall, everybody was going to want everything that they saw, a football field, everybody was going to want everything, and that the cost was going to go up. So why do we think that we have $1 billion budget now? Is because of the single member constituency. And the things that I saw that caused me concern as to why we're not moving forward. The East-West arterial should have been built, or almost built out by now. Just delay because of personal and private reasons in the leadership. Didn't want to do it, didn't want to build it, but just toyed around because he realized he didn't have the majority. So he just sent the fool further in the approach that they took. I was there and I saw that. The ISWIMS deal shouldn't have been where it's at now. is actually almost $500 million, a half a billion more than I left it as the environment minister. It was only 600 million thereabout. But they left it because they were against it. And when they went in, they left it for a year, and things went up, and they didn't seize the opportunity for us to be different throughout the Caribbean. So that's a whole can of worms that I could actually go into. I don't want to go so low this morning. I'm actually here, excited about Heroes Day. But let's talk about the roads that we talked about in terms of the East-West Arterial. That's needed. We need an interior road. People need to see what happened during Ivan when we couldn't pass. We need to talk about emergencies and everything else. We have enough people here to fill that road in itself. And some people may say, as someone said last night at the meeting, when you build more roads, then they import more cars. Well, that doesn't have to be so. We can change the policies. We can change the law in terms about importation. But we need to make some serious decisions in this country, whether that's staggered shifts or otherwise, better transportation, public transportation. These are things that we need to do, definitely so. And then when he talked about the manifesto situation, I agree with him. Nobody should go out there with a full manifesto, but definitely people are electing you because they see strength in you that you can actually help guide them. So they don't expect to come out and have the whole answer at a public meeting that you're going to write down on your notepad. How awkward would that be? That you don't even have any idea of some of the things that the district or the country needs. You need to have some idea also. You're living there. So, but I agree that the public's opinions and comments and suggestions should lead, and I've done that a lot of times, information that I've got from public meetings have been good suggestions. I always say that we here in Cayman have all the answers. We don't need to go outside and get all these fancy Philadelphia lawyers, we have all the answers here. We just need to listen to each other and respect each other. There's things that I've done from listening at public meetings that have formed part of what we're doing now. There are interscholastic. We didn't have a sports day amongst our high schools. That was a suggestion came in from one of my constituents, right at the Northwood Park area. So when we talked about the dock, he mentioned something about the dock, and he mentioned something about 7 Mile Beach.
Right.
Definitely, we got 3,000 to 5,000 Caymanians. Always remember, when you talk about cruise tourism, you're talking about Caymanians out of job. And the government has to start almost doing what we did during the pandemic in taking care of persons who are in the cruise tourism industry and pay that $10-15 million a month. Who's gonna take care of that? Who's gonna cover the cost of that $120 million a year that we'll have to pay to cover them at NAU? So we need to think about these things very, very seriously, in terms of not getting a dock. I believe that we should have docks in different areas of this country, because bad weather comes down, you can actually switch to another side, and your tourism product doesn't halt in that area. So definitely we don't have to make the footprint so big in one area. And I think that we can put docks in different areas as suggested. And definitely 7 Mile Beach renourishment program is something definite that we have. That is one of our biggest attractions or natural resources. That's what we have, beaches, and it's being worked on. I got approval from cabinet for the funding for us to do the investigation of the 4,400 feet on the south that is being affected. And once that is done, then we'll know how much sand that we need to get and where we can get this sand from, whether it's off the drop-off or other areas in Cayman, which would be preferred to me rather than bringing it in. But we need to allow those stakeholders on the 7 Mile Beach if they have a plan, we need to allow them to go ahead, and just add to their plans after. Because the government can't get stranglehold these stakeholders, and their product suffers over the time. But that's my contribution as to that caller's.
Well, before we may possibly take a call, just relation to the beach nourishment or addressing 7 Mile Beach.
Yes.
Whatever we do, is removal of seawalls or any structure something that would be considered, and especially that the structures there are actually adding to the destruction. To your perspective, I mean, are the structures part of the problem? Seawalls, buildings, houses, whatever it is. Do they cause part of the problem?
Yeah, seawalls is a problem, and it's not that you can't put a seawall. It's actual placement.
So do they need to be removed? Maybe realigned? What do you think?
I think some of them need to be removed. I've seen over the years where they do a topographical view every year. The DOE and I think Lands and Survey does it. And I saw in South Sound where when a seawall went up, the beach got destroyed in a certain area. I actually witnessed that.
Yeah.
So we can't rule it out that is not a problem. I know people are trying. They're trying to protect their property by putting up a seawall, but then it creates another problem. So we need to investigate all these things to ensure that we're suggesting the right things, because there's other suggestions that back in the 60s the same thing happened without seawalls. So we need to be sure of what we're suggesting and pounding people up for. But we definitely need to help some of these stakeholders. Some of them didn't listen either, and needs to pay. They need to pay. Their share for not listening.
They say you can't hear, you can feel. Well, let's take the calls after this break. Please join us right after.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
It's me again, that old girl, traveling everywhere with Cayman Airways. This time, I go in direct to Tampa because Tampa airfares are on sale. It's been a long time and I seen Cousin Sally up in Tampa or Uncle Joe in Orlando, but I'm not sitting in the Orlando airport traffic. No, sir. If you go in Orlando, Cayman Airways via Tampa, still the best way to go. You can even book a car rental through them, And I know one thing, I'm racking up all the Sir Turtle rewards miles I can get for even more trips this year.
For travel now through April 15th, call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to catch your Tampa seats on sale now through January 27th.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station. Your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And as we go take the calls, we have in the studio Honorable Cabinet Minister, Mr. John Seymour. Sir, thank you for your company, and we will talk more about Heroes Day celebrations. But let's take the calls as we go to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Dwayne Seymour, Mr. Dwayne Ebanks.
Boy, the battle of the bound. How are you, sir?
Battle of the Dwaynes.
Dwayne. And good morning, Mr. Honorable Minister Seymour.
Hi, good morning. Hi.
Can I have a conversation with you?
Sorry?
Can I have a conversation with you, a discussion with you?
Is it on air or off air? Or?
Here, on the radio.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears.
Yeah. Now, you spoke this morning about the minimum wage and so forth and what government should do and so forth. I don't understand the language that you use because you say what government should do. Now, we knew that the minimum wage is an insult to the Caymanian people and they actually cannot live. They cannot work for it, much less live off it. And you, the government that you was with, got a committee together to give you a report on the minimum wage. And they gave you their report and say that the minimum wage is not good enough because people cannot live on it. And I guess since their report, the cost of living has gone up 40% more. But you've done nothing about implementing the report and giving people a wage, a sort of a living wage. And you talk about what the government should do, but you were the Minister of Labor, and you still are the Minister of Labor. But you never brought in any legislation to change that. I mean, I don't understand how you can say what the government should do, but you were the government. But you didn't do it. And there we are, the Caymanian people are still working for $4.50 and for $6 an hour. And like you say, and I agree with you, how can they live off that today when they were making more than that 25 years ago when the cost of living was probably zero? I do not understand the language that you use. That's number one.
Is there a question?
Yeah, that's number one. Secondly, I don't know who is. If you speak when National Heroes Day, if you're speaking for the Minister of Culture and so forth, or if that comes under your portfolio, but I am happy to be honored again on Monday. I have a first honor from my people. I think several years ago. They called me yesterday and said that somebody nominated me for an honor on Monday and I should be there. I'm going to be there. But the thing that bothers me, I am going out there to get an honor. And we, Borden Town, produced the first national hero, the Honorable Jim Manoa Borden. We have a statue out in the legislature, he was park facing the legislature. And I guess you have been to other countries where national heroes history are preserved, and so there is a national shrine or something about them and how they became a national hero and how they lived. When you go to Jamaica, it's Sir Alexander Bastamante's home. It is Marcus Garvey's home. When you go to America, it's Washington D.C.'s home. It's Jackson's home, and so forth. I pass Lower Valley every day, sometimes twice and three times a day, and I'm appalled that our government, our people, allowed the home of the first national hero to be in the hands of private people, to be a tenement yard, and we never sought to purchase that and to turn it into a national shrine, a national home that people can go there and see the papers, see his life, his legacy, and what he did. That to me, I feel not honored to be able to just accept an award when that happens. It's a disgrace that the home of the first national hero is somewhat tenement yard, and our government, our people, me, you, and everybody else has not seen to get money to buy that and to turn it into what it should be, a remembrance of the national hero. those are the two things that I have I would like you to discuss today. And I have so many more, but this is not the time and the place to say them. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And before we take the calls, Honorable Minister, if you wish to.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Dr. Steve for calling in. You know, he's right in most accounts. I am the Minister of Culture and the Minister of Labor also, and you know, I don't hide from anything. I think most people we've had so much iterations of government in trying to, and that's the reason why this independent thing don't work. That's exactly what has happened. Everything that hasn't happened is because of the structure of government that we have just witnessed. One of the worst structures ever, and that I've witnessed in the way that came together. All about, I mean, in my opinion, financial lynching, in the way that came together, and we all know the history of that. But in talking, first of all, I was speaking of contracts, not minimum wage. But since you brought the minimum wage up, we brought that. I brought it to caucus many times. When the whole caucus was there, we couldn't get a consensus on as to where we wanted to go. Everyone is in the opinion that the minimum wage has to raise, but there are certain elements of the minimum wage hike that will rest squarely and will impact the lives of Caymanians, and we need to take these things into consideration when you're talking about raising minimum wage. When you raise something, it affects something. You know, I won't call the area of employ, but last time when the minimum wage was done in 2015, 10 years ago, they raised the minimum wage in a certain area. They didn't realize the impact that it was going to cause, and the person's salary raised 100%. Hence the reasons Caymanians couldn't afford to employ those persons anymore, and it was directly on the regular common man. So we have to take these things into consideration. Yes, everybody is sensationalized about minimum wage, and I can tell you most Caymanians are not working for $4.50. But we definitely need to do a better job in raising the minimum wage. We wanted a sectorized approach. The committee wasn't given that mandate, and that caused some concern as to how we were moving forward. Even with the caucus and the cabinet, it's been deferred. It wasn't for the lack of me trying to increase the minimum wage, but even what we were going to increase it to would still not solve the problem to the many Caymanians who want to appreciate some relief by getting additional funding. Mm-hmm. So that's a different exercise altogether, other than minimum wage, because we got some of the middle class that also wants that financial relief and uplift, and we need to find a way to do that also. But that's a different conversation altogether. And in terms of the first national hero, which I voted for my first election, election that I voted. Normally, as I know it in other countries, normally you would have a committee or family members or otherwise that would get together and and bring these things towards the government. Everybody can't think about everything, because you're not even gonna have everybody supporting the person that you think was so mighty. We need to appreciate that, So I agree that house should probably be bought. Nobody wasn't thinking about it. Nobody never put it forward. And you can't expect the politicians to remember everything. people who are supporters and so forth should actually go get the cost of the house and put the plan together as to what they're going to do to put the shrine together. But, you know, I get the point. We need to appreciate Caymanians much more. It's something that I was talking about earlier. You know, especially our national heroes, you know, we just give them a National Heroes Award and then we forget about them and don't do anything else. Perhaps we need a whole building that celebrates our national heroes inside or otherwise. But I agree in most cases with Dr. Steve Matfield that we need to appreciate our Caymanians much more.
All right. Ms. Susan, will you take the next call or the break, Mom? All right, let's go to the phone. Say welcome. Thanks for sharing with us.
Hey, good morning, Sterling. How you doing?
Man, I am very thankful, healthy. Hope and pray the same for you, man, and all of us.
Thank you, man. Pray for you too. Good morning, Mr. Seymour.
Morning. How you doing, sir?
Not so bad, you know. Not so bad. Dr. Steve took every word out of my mouth. But I would call in for the same reason Dr. Steve called. And I don't think you should use the term that Dr. Steve was correct on most things. Dr. Steve is correct on all of what he just said. Because
I was just saying that
when you started out your conversation, you did start it out talking about the minimum wage. You did started that, and you got to remember when you start these conversations, you are being recorded on YouTube, and people are listening. When
I didn't mention it. I said my concentration was not on minimum wage. It was on something else.
So
but
you just said that politicians can't remember everything. Politicians.
Well, that's true.
The man just told you take notes of what is happening. That you need to understand that we Caymanians are in a bind because of you all, the government, because you are in charge of labor. Make me ask you a personal question. On radio, who was in charge of immigration, border control? Who was the Minister for Border Control?
I am the Minister of Border Control.
Exactly. No. You have to realize that all these things that you got to take in consideration that happening in the Cayman Islands, you are going to be held accountable. People are going to reflect on you because you have that ministry. And everything that goes around circulation in this country is about foreigners. And when we see the influence or the fluctuation, I should say, of foreigners coming in here for cheap labor, people are going to say Dwayne Seymour is the blame for it.
No, they won't say that. They will say Caymanians. There is no person that comes on this island without a Caymanian bringing them. Always remember that.
I mean to hold an argument with you this
morning. No, it's not an argument. It's correct.
What I'm saying is right. You have went from ship to ship to ship to ship, but listen to me. The plank is going to be pulled from under your foot.
No. What I'm saying is that I am here for Cayman.
Chance to speak. I'm going to give you the chance.
No, but you don't talk about I'm here from no ship to ship.
Yeah,
I'm not allowing you to get away with that.
You are. And what I'm saying to you, you remember now, I got the right to have the right to voice my opinion.
But it's not right.
I'm not discriminating you in any way or infringing on your character or anything. I'm not. I am just laying something.
What you should have been doing is calling here and saying thank you for serving the Cayman Islands, even in a lame duck government situation twice now. Right? Thank you for what you did during pandemic. Don't just come and talk negative stuff. This is what's wrong with us now. We need to uplift each other.
You see what's wrong with us?
You know?
You trying to talk. My father always say we can all sing together. We can all talk together. I'm trying to talk and you getting vexed and trying to speak.
I don't get vexed, sir.
It's not yes, you are. You're getting a tone of voice. But what I'm saying to you is you're saying that you haven't this and you haven't that. Yes, you did. And you are not standing for no Caymanian. You are standing there. You just state that, yeah, there should be a building. You shouldn't use the term about should be a building. There's gonna be, is the word you should have used. There's gonna be something put in place for that individual. It none of us should be. Because this is the thing that happens. These last couple of months when I come on the radio because of election time, all the while it was only the opposition coming on, fighting and biting up their gum about what needs to be done and what has to be done in the Cayman Islands. We are sitting listening to you all patiently and seeing who is making and slipping and going down the drain slowly. And you all are trying to feel like you all are taking the helm and making everything work. No, it isn't. It's not working because what is happening to Caymanians are suffering, and you all are relying on people coming in here. You all allow the forms to be filled out and signed for 3,200 or 5,200 employees to come into the country. The people on the outside not doing that. It's the government.
Thanks for that, Honourable Minister. I mean, I can see being the political landscape it is.
Yeah.
your thoughts. You want us to take the break, or you want to share it now?
You know, I keep telling people all the time, nobody can come to Cayman unless a Caymanian bring them. You know, a foreigner can't bring nobody to Cayman. It's only a Caymanian can bring a Caymanian, and whether that's right or not, you know, sometimes you can't find employment locally, so you got to bring them in to try to elevate your business. You know, I am in favor of slowing down a lot of things, whether that's status or otherwise. But I am only one person, you know, and I have to work with a group, and it's been very confusing. And over the past, I've only taken this over not even a year. This time, I don't think it's probably been about a year or whatever. I mean, other people had 4 years. I didn't get 4 years being in culture minister or labor minister or border control. I did not get 4 years, and I'm not complaining about that either, because I have experience and I can actually hit the ground running. But what I did say, I can't go out and say I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that without knowing where the budget is coming from, you know, and whether people want to get it done or not. It can't be only my idea. It has to be the public has a responsibility also if they want to do something of that nature. We have never done it before for anyone, so it's something new. It's something new that we need to get used to, and someone need to guide us towards, you know, all right, we have a national hero and has a home, then let's purchase that home. Nobody's ever suggested that. That's something new. I've never heard anything about it. I never knew that's the direction that the country wanted to go in, but, you know, I'm glad to hear it.
All right. Final break, sir. Respectfully, maybe another call, but certainly you can share with us.
Yeah.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Record with Ort Connor.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for nursing. Thanks to Honorable Cabinet Minister Mr. Dwayne John Seymour for joining us. And although we're talking politics and national heroes day celebration, it kind of goes in hand, because some of our national heroes have, in fact, served, valiantly as political leaders as well. So we maybe take the final call, and then you can share more with us, sir, if you wish. If we'll take the last call.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to the regular call, Mr. Susan. All right. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Yes, hello? Okay, not there. Take the final call on our WhatsApp. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, sorry. Rambo speaking.
Hey, Rambo. How are you today, man?
Good morning, Rob. Now, morning, the Minister, Mr. Seymour.
How you doing, sir?
And how? Yeah, good weather. Weather bleak here this morning. Bleak, yeah? Good weather. That's good weather, man.
Good weather for a jacket, man.
Wow, good weather, bro.
Yeah.
And how, I try to expedite myself popular in acceleration, right? You see, our revenue is immigration now, right? And some of the political pundits, right? The political influencer, the learned ones, right? You know how it goes, right there?
Yeah.
Man, we based on a service economy, so the ratio.
Mm-hmm.
I called him Wednesday. We see you wasn't aware of it. I called him Wednesday.
No.
And I was telling Sterling the parameters of a mainstream of different revenues.
Yeah.
Right? So the whole algorithm of it, the solving that the solution, you need different revenues. Whoever the new administrationists, you need that.
Right.
And a lot of people, they're very emotive about it now. But at the end of the day, the immigrants, send them there. They were innovated. Send them there.
Yeah.
Send them there. But like I say again, I told Sterling Wednesday, like in a transaction, in a new immigrant like a process, henceforth, they need to contribute, because when they send money to different couriers, right? They're remitting money to the home country.
Right.
Then he come back to Cayman in the office. Do you give me? Okay?
Yeah.
Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
I touch base with you.
Yeah, man. All right.
My input.
Thanks, sir. Take care. Minister?
Yeah. Sterling, Dwayne. Yeah, the dependency. It is scary to see the dependency on the revenue from immigration. That's where it's gone, and it makes up a part of the budget. I can't remember what percentage, but I agree with the caller. We need to. I've always said we need to find new industries to ensure that we're just depending now on tourism and financial services. We should have went in more into some medical tourism and some ecotourism and other things to ensure we expand. But obviously, this term there was so much distraction. I've never seen anything like this before. It's my third time being elected now, 4 times running, and definitely something that we shouldn't repeat. And I think that the days of independence, making up a government, should be left behind. It doesn't serve Cayman well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Honourable Minister, you were referencing earlier, I do. Well, I'm supposed to say we have a call, man. Certainly. Okay. Yeah. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Dwayne.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was the guy who you couldn't hear just now.
Oh.
I was the caller. And good morning to the Honourable Minister.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. Home cooking up a storm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You know who it is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my comment's going to be based on your dialogue this morning. I heard you mention earlier the situation with the beach.
Yeah.
Minister, all that, not erosion, it's destruction of the beach, 7 Mile Beach, have been caused because of structures and wall being close to the surf. That's how it's been caused. Me and my good friend Stoke have been walking the beach for years and years. And one time at part of the year, I think around the winter time, the sun are more plentiful.
Yeah.
It's south.
Yes.
When getting back to the summer, we do shuttles from the huts down to the surf. Sometime in the winter, it's easy, bam, bam, bam. Sometime in the summer then, they look like the huts is all the way up by the street. That's because the sun now are moving back. So it go back and forth.
Right.
Now if you go wherever there are walls, when you're getting more south, the beaches are getting real narrow. I would encourage you to go down, and I can send you a photo, to the Royal Palms. Now that structure have been moved, they have a beautiful little beach already. We haven't had in Alvesta.
Right.
And they already have a beach. And adjacent now to the Royal Palms, the wall is, you can catch buggies off that wall. It's sticking out in the sea.
Right.
But yet now the Royal Palms structure moved, they have a beach. Also concerning, I heard you made mention of people coming here and have to be Caymanians bring them. That's not always the case, Minister. I know of people that are here that are not Caymanians, that are running agencies, that are bringing people here on 3 months. 3 months work permit from Timbuktu as far as you can get them. How can you bring somebody to the Cayman Islands on a 3 months work permit, and shortly after they're here, they don't have a work permit? And now those people are left to run around to find a job. Because now they are not responsible from no longer, because they already made that huge fee from them, and that gives them an opportunity to bring more. In my opinion, that's basically human trafficking.
Yeah.
And we need to look into that. People are people are running around here, and I can give you names of people who are bringing people here that are not Caymanians, and charging them a huge fee. So we really need to look into the immigration reform.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the key things. And quickly, I know you guys don't have a lot of time. Election, the way we vote. I don't think you're happy about the system we have. Me either. I didn't vote for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right. And the same how. Well, I want your opinion on this. Same how we change it from what our ancestors pass on to us. What would it cost, or how we would go about changing it back? Or, do we have to do a referendum again?
Constitution change, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was no constitutional change.
Because it's not working.
Right. Hold on, yeah.
It's definitely not working. All right. You guys have a good day.
All right. I hear you deliver too. I hear he delivers.
Delivers.
Thanks very much.
But yeah.
All right, Honourable Minister.
Yeah, definitely the beach, the destruction that Sir Graham talked about, is definitely a concern. We really need to, planning needs to be very careful what they approve. I'd say we need to hold planning also responsible for approving these walls. But one of the things that I'm amazed about is why we haven't over the years come up with a policy to replenish the sand on the beaches, and every country does this. You have to replenish, otherwise it's going to disappear. So I think we have enough information, and we're doing some more studies to understand our way of action and sand movement and everything else. But we need to come up with a solution to help ourselves. We just can't sit down like sitting ducks and allow the sand to disappear. We need to do something about it before it disappears. But also, the stakeholders also have to be responsible and not do things that would be negative in terms of them keeping a beach. That they know so desire. But the immigration, we definitely need some changes, and it's a big bill that we were bringing. A lot of things. In this bill, where these people come to the country and you bring them from all the way, Philippines or Nepal or wherever.
But even, you know, in the region, even,
you know, or India or wherever you bring them from, and then after 3 months they decide that they want to go work somewhere else. And the new bill that we were bringing, you got to go back. You got to go back, and you got to go back for a year. That's what the whole caucus decided on. So there are some positive things in there in terms of slowing down the growth. Persons coming here and just getting married, and in 3 years getting a Cayman passport, and different things like that. We wanted to slow that down and slow down the amount of people being able to get status in Cayman. There are some of the things that I was working on, because I you know, it doesn't benefit us by so many people getting status here in Cayman, and we wanted to long that process, so that obviously it almost frustrate the system, where if you really wanted to be here, then you really want to be here, or if you really wanted to be married to Caymanian, then prove it, do the time, and not get status so quickly. So
what about the instance? I recognize the time, but you know, maybe given that falls under your remit, just briefly. This term anchor babies, right?
Yeah.
And that whole issue, your personal view. I share the government's view as you wish.
This is, and let me get your term right. You're talking about persons who come here and have children here.
Prisoners, even anybody, you know, there's some connection, presumably on this right to family and whatever. I mean, it's a term that we've had battled about in recent times, right?
Yeah, and legal gives us some stress about that in terms of family, right to family life and everything else, and that's the stress that we get when you're thinking about deporting a person or otherwise. But if a person's not connected to the child's life, then they should be sent back.
Yeah, and I always appreciate your candidness, and I know sometimes people see it, but it's discussion that needs to be had, and you've always been meaningful in terms of sharing what you think and say publicly. So thanks very much, Honorable Minister.
No, I appreciate being here. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but you know, just trying to ensure that people don't get the wrong message. I don't want somebody coming on and saying something and don't get it right, especially while I'm here. And you know, I love every Caymanian, and there's a lot of frustration around the world. So people don't need to think that's only happening in Cayman. Around the world, we're having problems trying to figure things out with the economy and cost of living and everything else. But I think we're too small to fail here in Cayman, and we need to elect the right cohort of people who can come together and work as a group. The whole problem we had is that the group wasn't working as a group, you know. And, you know, not to say there wasn't good Caymanians elected in their own right in their own constituencies, but when they got together, the cohort didn't work as well as we would have liked. They did some good things. I mean, you know, even a broken clock is right twice for the day. So, you know,
unless it's 724 hours.
but you know, thank you for having me. I mean, I came here this morning to talk about Heroes Day, and obviously it's that time. I try to stay away from certain things. I don't come on the radio as much. I should come on much more.
So come back on with me and talk to you.
I need to, and please commit me to that.
You can do that before you leave.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. And on behalf of you and your ministry, certainly the public invitation to be a part of the Heroes Day celebrations Monday.
Yes.
And then come back for the evening celebrations, 4 o'clock.
Yes.
To 7 p.m.
Yes.
And not just for the fireworks, but stay for the festivities, the fun, the fellowship.
Food, the dominoes, the lude.
Wear your Cayman clothes.
The Caymanian music. And
Yeah, man. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Ms. Susan. We were 6 minutes plus into the innings, but I'll take responsibility for that. Invite you to join us for Talk Today in a couple of hours. Seymour Jackson will be our guest. Going to be a good discussion as always. Have a wonderful rest of your mid-morning. Good music to be shared. Let's go get something to eat. And when they come back, let's be refreshed, renewed, and rejuvenated. See you in a few hours.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.